You're going to instead manipulate somebody into breaking up with you instead of you just doing it.
Probably a lot of guys are thinking about this. Imagine you had this job that you didn't like and you're like, I'm just done with this job. I don't want this job anymore. But you're like, I mean, should I really quit the job? I mean, they're paying me. I'm just going to like sit at my desk and not do anything. And then I'll collect the paycheck until they fire me. It's kind of the coward's way out.
Because also that's just makes people be like, okay, well, is he going to stay? But he's going to want me to break up with him. So he's just going to start doing things to make me break up with him.
Both of us are marked, right? That's what maybe that's why people like we're together because we're undateable.
Every time I have an intrusive thought that's like, what if John betrays me? I'm like, I'm not dealing with men anymore. Yeah, let's talk about the real thing I want to talk about. I'm so glad you brought this up because this bothers me so much. Men who want to break up with a woman but don't have the balls to do it. So they try to get the woman to break up with them, which is a lot of times the cheating guys and things like that. Like they'll blatantly do things.
Yeah.
That anybody would break up with them over just to get her to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
Why?
It's easier. It's just,
But like, you cannot call yourself a man if you do this.
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's not, it's kind of the coward's way out. So, right?
No, it is for sure, because it's like, you're going to instead manipulate somebody into breaking up with you instead of you just doing it.
It's kind of like here, maybe give you a little different perspective on it, right?
Okay.
At least where probably a lot of guys are thinking about this, which is not necessarily from the cowardice frame, but more like, imagine you had this job that you didn't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I'm just done with this job. I don't want this job anymore. But you're like, I mean, should I really quit the job? I mean, they're paying me. I'll tell you what. Well, here's what I'll do. I'm just going to like sit at my desk and not do anything. And then I'll collect the paycheck until they fire me. And if they don't fire me, I'll just keep on collecting the paycheck, right?
That sounds ridiculous.
I know, but that's...
Because if you get fired, that looks way worse than you quitting a job. When they call your employer and their employer says, no, I fired him because he just sat there and didn't do shit, you think you're going to get another job very well? Same with women.
Yeah.
They talk. Like, if you move to another state, but you know your butt is going to end up on one of those girl group chats and they're going to be like, can you believe that this man did this to me?
Yeah, that's true. So, but
your next job interview is going to be rough. And then also if you have to tell somebody, yeah, I cheated on my last girlfriend because I wanted her to break up with me. You're not going to say the last part. Yeah. But if you're honest with her, which you should be.
It actually probably is better to say it that way, actually. Like,
that's not going to go over well. You versus a guy who's maybe equally as great as you in other ways, but didn't cheat on his girlfriend just to get out of the relationship is going to get picked.
But which is better, though? Which is better? If a guy's like, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend because there was a hotter woman that I liked and I was tempted, or I cheated on my ex-girlfriend because I wanted her to break up with me. I mean, you got to pick between one of those two.
Neither.
So I know, but pick one. Just pick like between those two. Which is the lesser of evil? Which one, honestly?
I'm not choosing. Yeah,
because you know that the second one would actually be better. I mean, they're neither
men shouldn't
is good,
cheat at all. So, like, you telling me to pick between cheaters, it's like no, just no. Okay. None of it's good. Like, it's equally bad.
Okay, but you don't have to pick for yourself. You just have to rate. From.
They're both 0.
I'm just saying it's a better reason. It's a better reason.
Look, the thing is, you need to tell the woman that you cheated because you need to be honest. However, if you had broken up before, and you'd been the one that had broken up with her, then you wouldn't even have to tell the next girl that you cheated, because you didn't want to get out of the relationship, Because also that's just makes people be like, okay, well, is he going to stay? But he's going to want me to break up with him, so he's just going to start doing things to make me break up with him. Yeah,
I mean. It just made me think of like, I mean, I'm definitely staying with you forever, no matter what. But also, can you imagine if I had to explain my situation to someone else? They'd be like, so hold on, let's go back to your first marriage. And then what did you do? Oh, okay. And then you had a podcast though, right?
Oh yeah, you would be.
And then they'd be like,
you would have to go live in
I would just
in the woods somewhere by yourself,
or some place where they never had
you
the
would
internet.
be,
You know,
like,
or the internet.
you're
wasn't-
the most amazing man, but you would quickly turn into the most evilest villain in the entire world.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would defy explanation. I would not be able to explain my way out of it at all.
You know, I'd get you scanned for a brain tumor, but then if you didn't have one, I'd kick you. Go in the woods.
Yeah, just think about how I mean, not to sidetrack too much, but can you imagine? Like, I mean,
no, I don't want to imagine.
Like we're like we're both locked in, because can you imagine having footage of your ex in a podcast called Better Than Perfect, you know, relation, where they talk about how good their relationship is every single week?
No.
And then that like just live forever. Like
every time
you're both of us are marked, right? That's what that's why people like we're together because we're undateable.
Every time I have an intrusive thought that's like, what if John betrays me? I'm like, I'm not dealing with men anymore. If it's not you, I'm gonna go live in the woods by myself in a nice little cottage though with like puppies everywhere. Like I'll be fine, but. You know, in that world. But I think about it all the time. I'm like, if it's not you, then it's nobody at this point. I ain't giving any man any other chances. Absolutely not. Like, if you go to this extent and you still mess up, then I might become like the woman spokesperson of like men are ruined forever. Like, you know, it wouldn't make sense to me, but there's not all men are like that.
Yeah.
But you also need to break up with women instead of manipulating them to break up with you.
Yeah.
That's manipulation.
Yeah. No,
manipulation's wrong.
I agree.
I don't care what the excuse is. I don't care if you're like super not into her anymore. Break up with her.
Yeah.
And we've given plenty of ways to do that in a nice way. The thing is, I don't understand why men are so afraid of women's emotions. Like, you're more upset to see her cry, but you're going to cheat on her and piss her off where she would chop your off instead?
Yeah, I don't know.
That makes zero sense. Zero sense. You don't want to see her cry and be upset and heartbroken, but you want to see her angry where she'll slash your tires or whatever else?
I guess it's
men
almost
logical?
Like well, you know, if she's angry at you can be like, such a bitch, right?
But
she's
you
crying.
did the thing to make her angry.
But still, like, she's still probably gonna act like a bitch when she's angry. So you can kind of, you know, be like, all right, see, she's a bitch. That's why we broke up with her. That's why we cheated on her. That's why we did it.
No, you're manipulating the situation so that you feel better about your shitty decision.
I'm just going through the.
No, I appreciate you doing that, but I'm just like, I'm trying to debunk all these things for the men out there whose brain works just like yours is working right now.
Yeah, I mean,
you're saying all the right things because this is what they're thinking.
Right.
But they shouldn't be.
Right.
It's way easier for everybody, including you, if she cries some tears when you guys break up versus the opposite.
Yeah.
Because you also you're not going to feel good about yourself cheating. Like,
no.
Even if you temporarily do.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel good.
Yeah, it's going to.
And then you have to piss her off.
Right.
Or upset her to make yourself feel justified, but you never really will.
Yeah.
And then you always have to live with making a shitty decision.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't want to make the decision of just breaking up with her.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You're right.